You seek the throne? Come then, take your seat. It's time for me to get back to it. I've been putting off all this paperwork. It seems there's nowhere left to run.
Schniel, the king of Lefundos, is a man who seems to have transcended the very concept of desire. Even though he was next in line to the throne since a young age, he was never interested in authority, and instead devoted his time to come up with ways to improve the lives of the less fortunate. When he ascended the throne 3 years ago, his people would often refer to him as the king who knew how to look below, and were anticipating his evolution into the new sage king. But instead, he vanished, leaving behind his abdication letter simply stating, "I quit." And thus, Lefundos' royal court was thrown into absolute disarray. Schniel is a 5-star Earth Elemental Soul Weaver. He has high effect resistance and can increase his health further through his imprint concentration. Skill 2. I know a thing about poison. Increases max health by 10%. After an enemy uses a skill, when an ally is inflicted with poison or venom, dispels all debuffs from the caster and activates Cleanse. Can only be activated up to once every 1 turn. Cleanse dispels all debuffs from all allies and grants immunity for 1 turn, before resetting skill cooldowns of the caster. Skill 3. You may walk yourself out. Attacks all enemies and increases defense of all allies for 2 turns, before increasing combat readiness of the caster by up to 50%. A successful attack inflicts 4,000 fixed damage. Increases fixed damage by 4,000 every time the skill is used, stacking up to 2 times. Skill 1. Is this how you do it? Attacks the enemy and dispels 1 debuff from an ally. When consuming 10 soul, dispels a debuff from all allies. Schniel's Artifact, Homage to Tarmin. A luxurious customized pen that once belonged to the former king Tarmin. It was mounted on a specially designed display stand, but Schniel has been using it as his dedicated signing pen since taking the throne. After an ally is attacked, when the damage suffered is equivalent to 25% or more of max health, grants a barrier for 2 turns. Barrier strength is equivalent to up to 20% of the caster's max health. Can only be activated once per turn.
It's time for me to get back to it. I've been putting off all this paperwork.
The mischievous, playful king of Lefundos. Players will be able to meet Schniel through the Drop Rate Up banner starting November 14th. Thank you.
Perhaps this isn't the time for a joke. By King's decree, I leave. And shut the door behind you.
Follow the light of truth. On behalf of the Creator, I will deliver judgment.
The promises of this sphere will not be forgotten.
When this all runs its course, what will the damage be like?
Consider this an honor.
A patient in need of treatment. Mercy is to need. For the likes of you! Raise your sword for me.
I vow to be your companion, like I promised. I'll stand by your side until death do us part.
Now, let's use our words. You seek the throne? Come then, take your seat.
You really have no tact. You don't realize I've got you in the palm of my hand.
Miserable creature. I will show you grace by granting you death.
Shall we get drinks after this? scary face you've got on there. It's time for me to get back to it. I've been putting off all this paperwork.